Should I sign up for Giant Bomb Premium?
Is that what we're gonna start the podcast with? Because I am down for that. Let me
Should I
send the tweet while we discuss this. I mean, do you watch any of their stuff now? Because that's what it comes down to, right?
Here's my thing.
Eat the tweet real quick.
I do watch some of their stuff, but I don't like a lot of Giant Bomb West stuff because nobody there has any enthusiasm.
Okay.
So Dan, I feel like Dan was better on the West side.
Yeah.
Because he's the one person that brought energy over there, and he brought out. We're not live on YouTube, by the way.
It shows that we are on my end. We are now live. I just got an email from YouTube saying now live on your channel, the Full Spectrum Podcast.
You refresh. I'm not seeing it.
It's showing live for me. Let me check it on my phone too. Also, restream chat seems to be broken. Every time I try to type "Welcome to the stream," it just breaks. I see Artaki in the chat. Yeah, it doesn't. Restream chat's just not doing anything. It's a good thing I have chatbot. Artaki can see us, so we must be good.
Like, Dan brought out like a part of Jeff.
Yes, I 100% agree. I do like Giant Bomb West still, but more for the analysis itself, you know, than for a lot of the funnier stuff. However, that said, were you to... I'm trying to retweet the podcast while I'm having this conversation. There we go. Were you to watch some of the Giant Bomb East stuff, some of that stuff's pretty good.
Like Bungle My Bananas?
Yes. That premiere is amazing. Did you watch it?
I've started it.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm only like 5 minutes in.
It's
well,
really
like 5
good.
minutes. So this is bad. This is bad. But I watched 5 minutes of Bungle My Bananas, and then I turned it off and watched the latest episode of Mysterious Monsters or whatever.
Yeah, I still haven't seen that. I have that queued up to watch. I just haven't had a lot of time.
And it's weird how the Easy Allies are like a smaller. I mean, they're small. They're like Giant Bomb's been around forever.
Yeah,
but the production values aren't there. I don't know if it's just they don't care. They don't care or what. But it kind of sucks a little bit. Also, the latest episode of Mysterious Monsters is my favorite.
Really?
By far.
Cool. I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah, need to watch it.
So, if you guys are on the Twitch or Mixer side, I cannot respond to you in comment form right now because Restream chat is broken, I guess. But I can still see your comments in it, and I can still see them in the other bot as well. So, you can still see your comments. They'll still come up on screen. Just won't be able to respond right away. That is a good question, man.
I like that guy.
We have some other... I know there's been a dearth of Gundam content on the channel lately, but we do have some plans for some Gundam content. It requires me to have time, Andrew to have time, and Pat to have time. All three of which are things that are tough to get right now.
Yeah. Pat has started... I don't know, I guess...
Yeah, he's talked about it
pretty
before.
open.
Yeah, he's talked about it before.
Started college classes again, so obviously that takes priority.
Mm-hmm.
I got like a... Look at that.
Yeah, you sure do.
What the hell?
This is top tier audio podcast for people just listening to the audio.
Well, if they are, they shouldn't be. Look at my red mark. I got an infestation.
Which one of us is Iori? Oh, 100% I'm Iori. I'm the one who knows all the lore.
I don't know what y'all are
Andrew's the
talking
ragey. He hasn't even seen Build Fighters to know what we're talking about.
about. No, I won't watch. If the Build Fighters are dubbed good, I'll watch it. There's too many episodes for me to watch and stuff.
Iggy, I don't have anything currently planned with Reborn, but if you guys would like to see soup breakdowns in the Dynasty Warriors games as well, once the job breakdown's done, we'll have an opening for something like that. I know there was some requests for just regular Gundam Extreme versus for the PS3, breaking down all the suits on there. And that was my current plan once I finish off the job breakdown. But let me know. You guys hit me up here on the channel, on Twitter, at the email, wherever. Let us know. Yeah, Andrew's the fighter. I'm just the nerd. Andrew's the ragey.
I don't understand.
That's okay. You should watch Build Fighters, then you will. Well, yeah. With that, should we get into the podcast?
What if?
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What if? Yeah. How dare you want to start?
Forgive me. I'm sorry.
Proper. What if I watch Build Fighters while I build Gunpla?
That would be cool. Build Fighters is really good.
Okay. I was gonna watch Unicorn.
Unicorn's really good too, though. Of the two, I personally like Build Fighters more.
Ooh.
But I think that Unicorn is probably better animated, so it's up to you.
Okay. All right.
Iggy just called something out in chat, and I have to respond to it because I got super worried. I saw Twitter, and all it said was Nathan Fillion, and then underneath it was suicide. And I was like, no! Nathan Fillion's going to be in the next Suicide Squad movie.
Whatever.
So, sure, I'm down for
that. The first one was bad, so...
Yes, absolutely it was. It was absolutely terrible. But maybe the sequel will be better. I have hopes. Speaking of which, did you see the new Star Wars trailer?
I haven't even seen The Last Jedi.
It's a terrible trailer. First off, over half the trailer is footage from the older movies. And then the second half is like, what are you doing? What is happening here? No. What is wrong with you? That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. No. Do not take Star Wars in this. You're taking it in this direction. Okay, I guess we're going there then. That's stupid.
I think it should go in that direction.
It either needs to go full nuts or it needs to go back to what it used to be, which was good. But
yeah, but let's be real here. The Force Awakens, it might as well just be a remake.
Hey, Andrew. In this trailer, there's a lightsaber.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's got two blades side by side.
I've seen the gift.
Yeah, and then it flips out to be the staff. Why would you ever turn it on before you flipped it? Why would you ever? You're just gonna cut your legs off. What is wrong with you? That's the dumbest thing. That is the most we want to get their attention movie trailer idea ever, and it's stupid.
Rule of cool, though. It checks all the boxes.
Not with lightsabers, it's already cool enough. If they had flipped it down and then both beams had come on, that would have been pretty cool.
I see what you're saying. That would have been cooler. That's true. You know what? I do agree. I do think it's cool, but it would have been cooler if there was one blade and then it was.
Do you remember how cool it was when Darth Maul pulled his up and the one beam came out and you were like, oh, here we go. And then it just opens up another beam. You're like, whoa! What? That was so nifty.
Remember the part where Darth Maul fought for like 2 minutes and then died?
Yeah, I do. I do. He didn't die though, remember? Expanded Universe kept him alive even after Expanded Universe got nuked.
Not even the Expanded Universe. Actually, he is.
It's in Rebels, right?
Clone Wars.
Oh yeah.
It may also be in Rebels.
I think he might be.
So it is the real deal.
I don't know, Iggy. I guess we'll see. who he winds up playing, since they said they didn't give a role to who will be. But
I hope he plays the Joker.
Also, Andrew, at one point in that Star Wars trailer, C-3PO has red eyes.
That's cool.
No, that's stupid. Also, the Emperor's back.
He never went away.
He died at the end of Jedi. Vader throws him down like a... No, Return of the Jedi. He died. And they have him voicing things in the trailer.
He didn't die.
He did die. There's no way he's still alive. He was already old.
He just fell down a hole. Big whoop.
He fell down a hole in space! Into the vacuum of space!
But I think you misunderstand his midichlorian count.
It does.
Because I'm pretty sure if you move the numbers around right, it lets him breathe in space.
You know the worst part? That's probably what they're going to say. They're probably going to say, midichlorians replaced the oxygen in his lungs so that he could breathe.
Yeah. So he's currently not as powerful as he once was because he burned out all the midichlorians.
No. No. Just stop. You remember when Star Wars was good?
Hey, King, guess what? The old books where he had 55 clones, it's dead.
Speaking of dumb new Star Wars stuff, did you see the stuff about the Mandalorian? I'm excited for the Mandalorian, first off.
Oh, the Mandalorian looks phenomenal.
It does, but there's a comment made in one of the interviews that's like, yeah, they use carbonite. The Mandalorians, they use carbonite as a punishment for prisoners that are not keeping their cool. And it's like, okay, sure. If you don't think about it, that makes sense, right? Do you remember what Boba Fett says to Darth Vader when Vader says, put him in carbonite? He says, I need him alive. He says, if he dies in carbonite, he'll be reimbursed. So Boba Fett does not put people in carbonite if he needs to transport them. Which means the rest of the Mandalorians don't do it either. So they just went, oh, we're just going to take this and make it canon now.
It's different carbonite. It's carbonite. It's carbonite B.
I bet it's not lethal anymore either. Watch. I bet it's not. I bet it's literally just stasis now.
I don't understand how you don't understand that it's different.
Yeah. Just like,
obviously.
I almost spoiled The Last Jedi for you. I decided it'd be good. You need to watch it because you're going to get spoiled sooner or later.
I'll watch it.
Anyway, we should move on.
And I'll like it.
And you probably would. Doofus.
You monster.
Barbonite. It's not carbonite, it's barbonite.
Exactly. Well, the one in
Return of the Jedi or Empire Strikes Back.
No,
that one is carbonite. Yeah.
No. That one's barbonite. See.
Oh, Vader got them mixed up.
Vader got them mixed up.
Yeah, it happens. He's mostly machine, you know.
Yeah, he's mostly machine. Everybody knows that's actually barbonite, and that's why it can kill, because it's not as pure as carbonite.
I forgot to mention in the trailer there's a moment where you hear Darth Vader breathing. Like, why would he be breathing? He's dead.
He's alive.
No, stop it. Let the dead characters rest in peace. Don't bring them back to ruin them in your movie.
They brought him back in Rogue One.
Yeah, but in Rogue One, it was timeline appropriate.
That's true, but it was awesome.
It was, yes. Make more timeline appropriate movies if you want. Make the movie where Vader hunts down all the remaining Jedi. Make that movie. I want to see that movie. I don't want to see Vader come back in Episode 9.
I want to see. I want them to do at least 3 Darth Vader movies that are based on the Darth Vader comic series.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Where he gets the white armor.
It fleshes him out as a character.
Chat, we don't deserve you. We don't deserve you, chat. That's
Carbonite is just carbonated barbonite. And that's why you can breathe. That's why you can still live in carbonite.
Yep, that's
See,
how it works.
Artaka makes it make sense, and that's what I appreciate.
Oh man, I actually think a Vader horror movie, again, make the movie where he's hunting down the Jedi, and they tried it because he's the most powerful one, right? They try to do stuff to him, and it just doesn't work. And so, like, they try to force push him, and he just holds his hand up and stops the force push.
I don't like the horror movie aspect, because if you follow the comic series, which is canon, he's actually like a deep disturbed character. Like he's the character that the prequel series tried to make him, where he's actually like,
I don't like sand.
Just this destroyed person.
Of course, and gets everywhere.
Gets in my cracks and crevices.
Also, as King has pointed out, like, Force Ghost Vader wouldn't make sense because Force Ghost Anakin was good at the end of Return of the Jedi. So, like, why would Force Ghost Vader have the breathing?
Force Ghost
They're gonna
Vader.
do it, though. They're gonna do the dark side of him separated from the light side of him, and he's gonna be there. Calling it now.
That sounds awesome.
It's gonna happen.
That sounds awesome.
And the dark side ghost will be over there.
And then the light side ghost fights the dark side ghost.
I don't want the ghost to fight ever. I don't. There is a moment, I will not spoil much about Last Jedi for you since you haven't seen it. There is a moment where a Force Ghost uses Force Lightning to burn something in The Last Jedi, and it's the stupidest thing. Because if Force Ghosts could interact with the real world and hurt things, then why does nobody help Luke? Like, Luke's fighting Vader, he's got his hand cut off. Yoda's there, like, Obi-Wan's a Force Ghost, nobody helps Luke. They just let his hand get cut off and let him have to hang and fall.
It's because the Sith were too powerful at the time.
Yeah, sure.
They could not, the light Force Ghost could not break into our reality.
Sure. So why did the Force Ghost not help Rey in Force Awakens?
Because the Sith were too powerful.
Then why can they do things in Last Jedi? Because Rian Johnson doesn't care.
Because they were weakened after they destroyed the planet. What is it called?
Starkiller Base.
Death Star, it's a planet.
Yeah, the Starkiller Base.
Starkiller Base, yeah.
Or as Artaga says, they just never knew they could do it. The tree, because it's a tree, gets blasted, and they just go, "Oh, we can do this now? Alright, guess we should go fight all the Sith. Just get all the Force Ghosts together and go fight the Sith."
Hey, now we're Jedi, but we're invulnerable because we're ghosts.
Yeah, so any stakes in Episode 9 are gone, right? Because now we know the Jedi could just Force Ghost kill him.
What if there's a scene where all the Force Ghosts come back? All the dead Jedi from the other movies come back and help Rey.
Disney would do that.
Like a spirit bomb style. Like, just absorbs all of their energy.
I don't think I've mentioned this much on the podcast. I legit hate Rey. I legitimately dislike Rey as a character. Do you know why?
Yeah, Rey sucks.
Because she doesn't have a character.
No, she sucks. I've only seen The Force Awakens, and I know she sucks.
Oh, man. Finn should have been the...
No, Finn's going to be a Sith Lord.
We should probably talk about the podcast. Not just spend 2 hours talking about... Because you haven't even seen The Last Jedi, and I'm trying not to spoil things for you. But I will tell you, it's maybe, unironically, the worst movie I've ever seen. When it comes to, like, it looks good. Don't get me wrong. It looks good. It sounds good. But when it comes to writing, the plot of the movie should have ended within the first 2 seconds.
Is Kylo Ren still my boy?
No.
Kylo
Ren flip-flops. Like, they forget how they were writing Kylo. Hux goes from being like, I'm the enemy general. I'm extremely competent. I'm going to kill all of you. To literally falling down on a banana peel style joke.
What?
The start of the movie. Yes. The start of the movie is, oh no, we're almost out of fuel. We can't get away in time. The enemy ship is right there, the Supremacy, and it has a beam that can blow up a planet. It could just shoot us right now. The only reason they're not doing that is because they need to know where Rey is. So then you do, obviously, as the Empire, with the better technology. I'm sorry, the... whatever they're called. Not the Empire. Makes me so mad. You do a scan of life signs and see if you find her. Or, Kylo's a Sith. Have him reach out in the Force. Oh, she's not there? Blow their ship up. The Resistance is dead. Movie over.
He's too weak.
And because they don't do that in the first 5 minutes of the movie gets to happen. Or, you know what? Raise the problem. Just blow the ship up anyway, whether she's on there or not. Take out the Resistance.
She's too powerful. The First Order, that's what they are.
First Order, thank you. Yes.
Which, to be fair, the First Order sounds way cooler.
Yeah, it does. I agree. Anyway, we got a podcast. I'm going to calm down from my Last Jedi rage. I'm telling you, man, that movie, I legitimately hate that movie. And there are a lot of bad movies that I love. Like Tremors.
Tremors is a great movie.
Yeah, exactly.
The Lord
Room.
checks out.
The Room is a great movie, too.
That's a shit movie.
No, it's a great movie.
Pardon my language.
It's a great movie. It's a bad movie, but it's so bad it's good. Anyway, if we don't start, we won't. We're just going to talk about movies the whole time.
I'm going to watch The Last Jedi before next week.
So you can talk about it next week?
So I can talk about how much I love it.
Pat loves it.
Yeah.
But Pat will admit it has problems and will look past those to enjoy the movie.
Flawless.
However, I cannot look past those problems because those problems are monumental. Anyway.
Let's see what the 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's a good movie.
It's not, though.
That's how percentages work.
Nope, that's not how percentages work.
That is 91%. We're going to ignore the audience score.
Yeah, what's the audience score?
44%.
Yeah, that sounds about right. This movie, like, for whatever reason, has become like the poster child for themes over writing. Where, like, the theme of a movie is more important to the movie than the writing of the movie, even if the writing contradicts the movie. Like, there are so many video essayists on YouTube that are just like, you know, yeah, the movie, it may have problems. Hold on, I gotta do my video essayist voice. The movie may not be perfect, but it's perfect in its imperfection. Because the theme is that Rey is not perfect, but she's perfect in her imperfection. Like, that is the level of defense people come to for The Last Jedi. Of, well, the themes are... It has a theme of family. It has a theme of finding your own self in a world that hates you. It has a theme of anti-imperialism and anti-capitalism. It has a theme on slavery and racism. Even though racism's never brought up once in the movie, there are still videos that say that
there are good themes about racism in the show, though. You know what I mean?
I'm not taking that bait. I'm not taking that bait. Oh, yeah. It's subversive. It subverts your expectations. It gives you something you didn't know that you wanted.
Yeah, agreed. I don't want to have to think about it.
Just turn your brain off. My favorite, though, is there's a video.
Exactly.
You're
saying the best thing in the world.
There's a video by a guy named Major Lee that just says, why don't you like this movie? You get to look at women. And that is like, he legitimately believes that is a plus for The Last Jedi.
Well, to be fair, are there women in the movie?
Yes. There are also men and robots in the movie, so I guess it's the perfect movie.
But you get it has women in it.
I hate that movie so much.
It's probably a top 10 favorite movie for me.
You need to watch it, and then you'll understand.
I say top 10, but it could be top 5.
Taka's got the best shots tonight. It's subverting his expectations and giving him his money's worth. I agree. So,
welcome to the podcast,
Andrew. I never did it, did I? Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Full Spectrum Podcast. We spent the first 20 minutes of this podcast talking about The Last Jedi. Andrew, how's your week been?
My name's Andrew, by the way. For those of y'all who didn't know.
It's underneath, well, it's kind of underneath you, because of the way Pat's not here, so the cameras work where you are above Pat and Andrew.
So I've played a lot of games.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I do. I'm kind of a professional.
Yeah. Pro gamer.
I don't got a lot to. I'm a gamer with a capital G, I would say.
I got you. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't have a lot to talk about this week.
Okay.
So, blow through it. Yakuza 0. Buy this game. It's amazing. Kazuma Kiryu makes me want to get a dragon tattoo on my back. And guess what? The little ball thing part of his tattoo, represents the year of the monkey. I was also born in the year of the monkey.
Mm-hmm.
We're the same person.
Well, there you go.
Tattoo time. I don't have any tattoos, but now it's time to get one. And the action is amazing.
I got it, chat. I got it. I got this taken care of. Don't worry, chat.
The part, which I already know, I mean, I can assume what happens, but this is spoilers for early on in Yakuza 0. So, shut off your ears, close your eyeballs, and plug your nostrils, because you're not going to want to hear this one.
Mm-hmm. I'll put up the spoiler hands as soon as I get done with this. There we go.
Too late. It's already time to spoil. So, first off, the side quest's really good. But, Majima.
Yep.
God hands.
Yep.
What are you doing?
Put spoiler hands up.
God hands. Then you find out who somebody is. So you save that person.
Yeah.
Then the shot happens.
Yep.
Alleyway. Person's clinging to your leg.
Yep.
Telling you they're scared. This person's blind.
Yep.
Is also a woman.
Yep.
And Majima slowly pulls out his knife because that's his job to kill her.
Yep.
And then it just cuts to Kazuma Kiryu.
Yep.
You switch back to Kamurocho.
So good, right?
And I was like, oh, this game. It can't keep getting away with it. Okay. It's too good.
How you feel about Kyouryuuger so far?
I'm just a black line at the moment.
I got it fixed. Your name is now underneath you. My name is now underneath me. And Lubu is taking up the empty real estate on the screen.
Do not pursue.
Hey, Andrew, real quick. Why do we do spoiler hands when I have control over the screen and could put up a spoiler warning image?
It's a classic.
I guess so. I just thought about that.
It's to respect the OG way.
I'll have one for next week.
Before there were options like that.
It'll be just a little pair of hands at the bottom of the screen that reads spoiler across them.
And just does this.
Oh, don't make me animate it.
It just does this.
No. I could probably hire an animator.
What do I think about Kiryu?
Yeah.
I can see him throughout the entire series. That's the 7 games.
Yeah.
In the series, being my favorite character ever. I can already see it just from Yakuza 0. I can already see like the makings of just this amazing character.
He's so good.
Oh. After that, I'll talk quickly about Dragon Quest XI demo on the Switch.
My game of the year from last year.
Around 10-hour demo.
Yep, it's
a chunk of the game. Yeah. I'm not very far in the demo. I did have a problem. I don't know if I talked about it I don't think I talked about it last week, because I don't think I played it last week. I have this problem with especially with JRPGs, where the music is so calming.
Yeah.
That I start to go to sleep. But I think part of my problem is also the fact that the start of JRPGs is so slow.
Yeah, they always are.
Because I've broken out of Cobblestone. Not broken out of. I've left Cobblestone.
Right.
And was given the option, given like, okay, go explore a little bit and go to the big city and do all this stuff. And now I'm more awake than ever. And the game story, after some events that happened that I won't spoil, that Trey and I have talked about, I'm all in on this game.
Yes.
I am all in. I'm hoping this is the year of revelations for me, where I played Judgment and realized that style game could be my favorite ever.
Yeah.
And maybe realize that I like Dragon Quest a lot.
Yeah.
And maybe go back and play some other ones. So I'm hoping for that. Outside of that, I played some multiplayer stuff. Nobody really wants to hear about that. Just shots and stuff.
If you want to play some good Dragon Quest games, you should play the Dragon Quest Builders franchise. I think that'd be right up your alley.
So I have the Builders demo downloaded to try and check out.
Yeah.
After playing a couple hours of Dragon Quest XI and it hooking me,
yeah,
I went to the shop and started to download on Dragon Quest Builders 2.
Yeah.
So I've tried it out a little bit on PS4. I'm gonna try it out on Switch just because it's a free demo. So why not try it out and see what I prefer. But the 60 FPS on PS4 is really lured me in.
Yeah.
But
DQB 2 is even better than DQB 1 too.
Yeah, I've heard so many amazing things about Builders 2. And from what I've played of the demo on PS4, they changed so many things that I was annoyed with.
Yep.
Already, just from basic standard building stuff. So I might get that game. The only problem is, and we'll talk about it here in a little bit, 2 games are coming out this week. Apparently, both games very good.
Apparently, yeah.
So I might not have any money for Builders 2 right now. But hey, you know what? Next month, into September, maybe I'll buy Dragon Quest XI and Builders.
Yeah, there you go.
And just have a Dragon Quest month. But other than that, I've spent a lot of my time playing Remnant from the Ashes.
Yes.
We talked about this a little bit last week, and we'll also use this to lead into Trey's week. But I really love this game, I like it a lot. But I did notice why I'm a little higher on it than Trey is.
Yeah.
And that's because I've played mainly with somebody else, in this case with Trey. I played mainly with him. And the co-op makes it way more fun, because fighting bosses solo,
not great.
Kind of sucks. Big time.
Yeah, I think that, and I'll talk about it more in my week, I think that game is 2 games in one, which is a weird thing to say, because I say something very similar to that in the Sekiro review that I'm currently writing. But I think Remnant is even worse about it, in that it is 100% 2 games. It is everything else, and then the boss fights.
Yeah.
Boss fights. Please go ahead. I'll tear into them when it's my turn.
No, that's fine. Because all I gotta say is I've had a lot of fun with it. We did hit last night. Trey and I hit the 3rd. Well, Trey's already beat the game.
Yes.
But I hit the 3rd world and started to see more of the BS and the brokenness of the game and some of the enemies. Like for example, when you fight 4 summoners at the same time and they summon, let's say 5 guys each, and you have to not only down the summoner but destroy the leech, or it respawns. Because of that, I'm not sure that I'm gonna try to complete the game, but I hate BS mechanics, and that's all that is.
And I think it would be reasonable if there could only be one of them out at a time, especially when you're solo, or if they had a cap on how many enemies they could summon at a time. But as far as I can tell, there is no cap. The most of the summoners that I've ever seen at one time was 4. And they were each summoning 3 to 5 enemies at a time, basically, you know? And that adds up really quickly to where you're overwhelmed. And these enemies aren't dropping in, like, a couple hits. It takes most of a clip to kill most enemies when you're playing in co-op. That's not even counting the elites that can take multiple clips. So it's very, very annoying when you're doing great and then all of a sudden you're just swarmed by enemies. You need to use an ammo box, but you can't get a chance. You need to heal, but you can't get a chance because the dogs are going under the ground and popping up to try and kill you. The plant guys are crawling that the legs have been knocked out of, and they can one-shot you if they get you in a grab. It's not very balanced for solo play, I would say.
Yeah, and the response to King saying it's definitely easier with friends, but saying he said of Dark Souls, I think Dark Souls is focused on us being a single player game with co-op, and I think Remnant is a co-op game that you can play single player.
Yeah,
I think it's really everything's balanced around having 3 people.
Well, and you look at the summoners in Dark Souls 1, for instance. We'll just compare, right? Compare and contrast. That's the word I meant to use. Summoners in Dark Souls 1, down in the catacombs. Well, right before the catacombs. But they can summon skeletons. They each can summon up to 4 skeletons. You kill the skeletons, and they bring those skeletons back, wherever their bodies are. So you kill the first skeleton, you watch him drop, you're dealing with the next set of skeletons, and then the first skeleton gets up and hits you from behind. Then you know these skeletons can get back up again. However, if you are using a divine or a it's another weapon type too, but if you're using one of those weapons, then when you kill those skeletons, the summoners cannot bring them back up again, and they cannot summon more. They just have their own basic attack. So there is a way to circumvent it, even if at first you don't know that. You could also just go kill the summoners, and then all of their ads die. Yeah. Whereas in Remnant, you rush through a group of mobs to get to the summoners die. You still have to deal with all those mobs, and they can summon quite a bit more than 4. At one point last night, we were dealing with 2 summoners, and there were like 13 or 14 enemies that were on us. It's really difficult.
Yeah.
And that's not even getting into the boss fights, which I think in a lot of ways they wanted to make challenging boss fights, but they overdid it, you know? They, the idea of, well, let's throw ads at the players so they can get more ammo. Sure, that makes sense. But the ads don't have a limit. So they just keep respawning. So you just have to do... And some boss fights do, for clarification. Some boss fights do have a limit. But a lot of them don't. And in some boss fights, it's not that big of an issue because you can get behind things and get to cover and be able to you know, shoot the ads and take them out. But normally, no matter what fight, you're using just as much ammo to kill the ads as you're getting back from killing the ads. So it's not... You still have to use ammo boxes anyway. But then you get boss fights, like one specific boss fight that I can think of, where there is no cover, you're on an open platform, the boss is shooting you and not moving, and the way to make the fight interesting is that he summons ads as well. And the ads are all ranged ads, so they're shooting at you too, and there's no cover. It's not great.
Yeah, not great.
It winds up getting to the point where you can very easily get super frustrated with the game. And I know a lot of people have this attitude with design when it comes to a Souls-like, that if you can beat it, then it doesn't matter how hard it was, because you get your feeling of satisfaction after you beat it. I disagree with that mindset, because in my opinion, when you beat a boss, if your feeling is not relief of, oh man, I did it, I learned his patterns, I got him down, I beat him, but instead is, I'm glad that's over, I don't ever want to do that again, then it's a very different feeling, and that does not make it okay just because you beat it. Again, what makes it even worse to me is that, and this will all come up in the review of Remnant when I eventually review it after Adventure Mode comes out, even if you learn the mechanics for the boss fight, that doesn't mean that the boss is going to be doable that run, because they can summon adds that may spawn in from different areas of the map. So there's no such thing as learning the fight and then beating it. It's always going to be, well, I know what the boss is going to do, but which adds is he going to summon and where are they going to be? And some bosses can spawn... Yeah, and how many? Some bosses can spawn elite enemies, which means they can spawn summoners.
Yay.
It just... And that's not even to count the bugs, right? Even if you know all the moves that a boss can do, they can just bug out. And then... Say, for instance, a boss is supposed to fall down when you hit their leg enough. The leg might not ever break. Or a boss that is constantly summoning more adds, and that's all the boss does. Gets hung in a stairwell and stops moving. Like, there's a ton of bugs in the game, and it's unfortunate, because I think the game is really solid. It's currently in my top 10 for the year. But it's...
I will say, in their defense, it seems like they actually care.
They do.
Enough.
They've already fixed one big bug.
Yeah, the whole not being able to rest someone.
Yeah. So when the game launched, if you tried to revive somebody playing co-op, your character would do this twice and then be able to do it, which could be a death sentence in some fights. But they have patched that now where it no longer happens. Now when you go to revive somebody, you revive them. That's kind of close, Nathan. I think the thing that offsets it is that some of the boss fights are genuinely fun. Some of the boss fights are balanced correctly. There's a boss that only summons adds when he is leaving the battlefield. And if you can keep him in the battlefield, if you can keep him staggered and keep him there, he will never summon the adds. There's a boss that summons adds until you knock him down, and then he doesn't summon adds anymore. There's a boss that... will summon adds up until you destroy something specific on the battlefield, and then the adds will stop. And so there are definitely fights that are built around it, and fights that are done right, I would say. And I know, like, right, wrong, who's right, who's wrong, right? Whose perspective. But done in an objectively reasonable way. And then there are a lot of fights that just aren't. And that's not even to count the fact that a lot of the bosses in this game, like, I would say a third of the bosses in the game are just upgraded versions of regular enemies. And they don't even have any more moves.
Really?
Yeah. Like, look at Gorefist. Gorefist is just a brute. He has no new moves.
Oh, yeah.
All he has is that he can root himself, right? So, like, he's got all the spikes and stuff where you don't want to melee him when he does that. That's it. It's the only different move.
And Shroud is just
an archer with the ability to summon.
A deadlier archer.
Yeah. So, it's not that you're getting better versions of those elites. It's that you're getting that elite with more health and more damage, basically. And that's unfortunate. Because I do think a lot of the bosses are really cool. The other thing that makes bosses difficult is that it's randomized per planet. So, I've heard there's a really cool boss on Earth. I haven't seen that boss in almost 10 runs of Earth.
Yeah. So, there's a couple of bosses that I haven't. I mean, I know you've run it a whole bunch. Is that the only boss you're missing?
I looked up the boss list. I'm still missing 6 bosses.
Yeah.
It's really, I agree, that's good, but it's really disappointing when you join somebody's game and you get to a boss fight with them and then you recognize the location. Because you go, oh, okay. I know what fight I'm getting here. But I do really like I said, it's in my top 10 of the year so far. I love the worlds. I think the environments are super cool. I love the story. The story's great up until right at the end where they drop the ball completely and entirely. I think that some of the guns are really cool, though I definitely think there should have been more guns. Especially the handguns. I think I only have 6. So I don't know if maybe some of those 6 bosses that I've beaten, or that I haven't beaten, maybe have some more handguns. But there's a drastically lower number of handguns than there are long guns. Melee seems like it could be cool to do a run of, but it seems like there are some bosses that it would just be impossible. I don't know. It's a really solid game. It's just not anywhere close to where I want it to be. You know? Hey Pat, how's it going, buddy?
It's not as good as it could have been.
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
Which that could be said for most games.
Yeah.
I mean, most of them fall flat somewhere.
Yeah. I just don't normally rage quit.
The bosses are big. Yeah, the bosses are big because it's so cheap.
Yep. There are 3 games this year that I have rage quit. Only 3. I barely rage quit games ever. I rage quit Jump Force and did not pick it up again.
That was a difficulty.
I rage quit Sekiro at the final boss. Quit it for a week and then had to come back and try and beat it again. Oh, sweet, man. You can jump in if you want. If you got home early. Unless you're busy. If you're busy, I understand. And then Remnant. I rage quit on the final boss. And walked away for like 4 hours before I got messaged by one of the other guys that I was playing with from the free company on 14. That was like, hey, you're at the final boss, right? You want help? And again, having one more person, even though it makes the world a lot more difficult, is better for one purpose. And it's that you can pick each other up.
Yeah.
But
pro tip for Remnant. Get the tree.
Yes. Unfortunately, pro tip means fight Shroud. Good luck. Yeah. Hope you find him.
Watch your back.
You called me. Would you mind calling Andrew? Or Pat? Andrew? Words. We'll get him in here.
Oh, yeah.
The tree basically, for anybody that hasn't seen it, is, now you can see my background, is aggro. Basically. It holds aggro for you. Hey man, how's it going?
It's going a lot better now.
Congratulations on getting home. I'm gonna cover Lubu back up now. I'm sorry, everybody. I know you love seeing Lubu, but you're gonna love to see Pat more.
You have no idea how excited I am to be here.
Oh no, you're out of order now. It's probably because Andrew called me. Okay, hold on. I can do this. I got this.
Redo the call. Restart the podcast.
Continue talking. I'll get this.
So what have you gotten to so far?
We talked
about The Last Jedi for 20 minutes.
Yeah, we did. We talked about how
the podcast.
Terrible the movie The Last Jedi is for like 20 minutes.
I think it's a good movie.
It's not. It's a terrible movie. I'm glad that you think that, and you're well allowed to your opinion, but you're wrong.
But you're wrong. No, I haven't seen it.
No, I mean, everybody has a right to their own opinion, right? I'm not going to tell you you're wrong for liking a movie that I think is objectively terrible. But I will tell you that I think that movie's objectively terrible. But I'm glad you enjoy it.
It's probably my favorite Star Wars movie.
Yeah. Let's not get back on The Last Jedi. Let's continue the podcast.
I'm only between The Last Jedi and Clone Wars.
Hold on, I'm trying to make this work right.
Those are gotta be the two best movies.
The cream of the crop.
I don't like the original trilogy because it's so cheesy and outdated. It's like
you stop right there. You stop right there.
Like Yoda's a puppet. Okay, that's stupid. You know what I mean?
You stop right there. I don't know if I can make this work. We might just be stuck.
That's okay.
Oh, I did have something else to talk about.
What's that?
Modern Warfare Alpha.
Yeah.
I really wanted to play that. I didn't get a chance to play it.
I did really good. So while Trey's doing what he's doing, I'll say this. I played very little because the only available mode was 2v2. And like larger team-based modes. However, I found out very quickly that I'm really good, and I proceeded to. Y'all know I talk to myself. I'm overly dramatic, and I talk to myself. So out loud, I was like, "Ooh, I'm the goat, baby. I'm the goat. Oh, y'all suck. I'm the goat." And I kept saying it, and then I looked at the screen and realized the microphone icon was by my name.
Nice.
And I realized my PlayStation camera was automatically recording my voice into the microphone.
Nice.
That's beautiful.
So these other people got to hear me be a total douchebag after I stomped on them. Just be a total douchebag. I'm the goat. I'm the goat, baby.
God, I kind of made it work.
How did you do that?
I just flipped it horizontally.
Flip that.
Yeah,
Bad.
if you hold your phone or laptop or whatever device up to a mirror, you can see my name correctly.
Do what you gotta do.
It'll be back to normal next week, most likely. So yeah, for my week then. Actually, Pat, you want to talk about yours real quick?
Sure.
I
if you don't
know,
mind.
I know you had, because we do have news to talk about. We don't have a lot of it, but I know that you had something you were very excited to rant about.
Yes.
So please go ahead.
So essentially, last week whenever we had the podcast, I made an oopsie, and I said that the NBA 2K20 demo came out on the 31st. Actually, came out on the 21st. So I've already had my hands on it, which is exciting, and I've played it. There's a downside. So they made the demo. What?
No, it's chat. Please continue.
Oh. So they made the demo where you can pre-create 6 different builds for your My Player. So you can test out different My Players at whatever overall you want, so you can see how they'll play in a real game against AI and how you will do playing with them, which is actually a pretty cool concept.
Yeah.
Well, not even 24 hours after they released the demo, they announced that they changed a ton of stuff and that the demo is not going to be anything like the real game as far as how your My Player
Nice.
works.
Then why put out the demo?
It was a complete waste. Like, one of the things that they did to try to balance the game was make it where the taller players over a certain weight couldn't use certain jump shot animations because they were meant for shorter and lighter weighted people.
Yeah.
And if you used those, it gave you an advantage as a taller player. Well, they're like, yeah, it was balanced, but we're not doing that anymore. And they threw that out. And then they were like, oh yeah, you know how there was, because it helped you like get the bases started by giving you pie charts that allowed you to have like different ratios of certain attributes, and then you could build off of that.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, there's like 12 or so pie charts that you haven't seen yet. It's like, so this is literally a waste of time. I'm gonna have to do all of this all over again.
Yeah.
Because half of the stuff that's supposed to be in the real game isn't there. So the 2K20 demo is an absolute waste of time. The only thing that I've gotten so far out of it is that it's terribly laggy. Some of the animations are good. A lot of them are bad.
Wonderful.
This was obviously a ridiculously early version of the game that they made into a demo.
Yeah.
And it was a waste of time. I wish I had never downloaded it and played it. It was awful.
That's a bummer, man.
Yeah.
So you're all about NBA Live this year.
No. Did you see that I saw that I talked about how it got moved back?
Yes.
Were you there for that, Andrew?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's not happening. That game's not coming out. I'm telling you right now. They're not even going to release it.
Probably not. No.
But
which is fine.
Yeah, I mean it's not like, yeah, I was going to say it's not like it was going to be good anyways. They should just do what I've said they should do for years, which is just bring back NBA Street
or NBA Jam.
Oh, NBA Street.
NBA Street was such a great game.
If they brought NBA Jam back, okay.
They did.
They need to bring it back. That'd be good though.
Again.
Bring
NBA Jam again.
NBA Jam on PS3 was good.
Yeah, I liked it.
Current console.
I think you could get it on the Xbox One. I don't know. Maybe not.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Who uses their Xbox One though?
Yeah, you're right.
Oh,
You're right.
I'm gonna be so confused later as to why my name is Yurt when I go to add stuff to the podcast talking.
What's it called? Remnant's great.
I disagree. I think it's good. I don't think it's great.
No,
You guys haven't seen the final boss.
It's really good, but what I've played so far is really good. But I have hit, like I said before, I've hit that point of this is starting to become major BS.
You rage quit last night.
Yeah. Well, I had to get off anyways, but I was going to at least try to stay on to clear that area.
You rage quit, Jen.
And so, well, no. That's what I'm about to say. I needed to leave, but I was going to keep playing to clear the area. And after the summoners, I was like, you know what? Before I get too mad, I am just going to get off this game.
And I do think that world is one of the biggest issues I have with the game. I think that world's just bad. It's unfortunate, but I think the bosses in that world are some of the worst, except for maybe the final boss. I think the final boss in that world's really cool. But it's just the final boss of the game is the worst boss in the game, which is super unfortunate.
I'm still really excited to finish the game.
I'll help you out.
For what I've played so
levels.
far, it's been great.
I guess we'll jump into my week then real quick, and I'll just knock it out. We talked about Remnant already. 14 still going. Warrior to level 35. Man, I'd be way back then. Warrior to level 75. Dragoon to level 73. I'm trying to get them all level to 80 for the job breakdown. Little by little. 3 houses. I'm on my second playthrough. I'm on Black Eagles. I'm really enjoying it. It's really fun. I do wish that I did not have to redo the first half basically of the game every time I do a new playthrough, because the early chapters are very similar. Yes.
I'll be right back.
Okay. The early chapters are extremely similar. I didn't think they were going to be when I chose Black Eagles. Like, there's a moment where you fight a guy in chapter 4, I think, might be chapter 3, and that guy is related to somebody, like, not blood, but you know what I mean. There is a relationship between that character and one of the characters in Blue Lions, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. I get this unique enemy to fight. And then on the Black Eagles route, I fought him too, and I was like, oh, okay. But I'm into some stuff that is very different now, so that's cool, and I'm looking forward to finishing that route, and then maybe doing a Golden Deer, and then going back and doing a Black Eagles again.
Can I add something real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I did actually get a little bit of time to play that the other day.
Yeah.
And without spoiling too much, there's a fight that you have to do, a battle you have to do that's kind of similar to one you do early on.
Yeah.
And I started doing it. It took me an hour, and I got almost to the end, and I accidentally. So you know how, like, when you use the, what is it called, Divine Pulse? When I used Divine Pulse, but I went back. No, I didn't go far back enough, so I had to use it again to go back one more. So it counted it as 2 uses.
Yep.
And then I used it a third time, and then Claude died because I put him in a risky situation to see if he could survive, and he didn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, because somebody hit with a 20, and I wanted to throw my controllers.
That's right.
So I wasted an entire hour, and I have to start that entire battle over.
Eventually, you get a lot more uses of Divine Pulse.
I hope so. I wish so. I mean, I wish that, like, if you used it in one turn, as long as you didn't, like, move and then use it again.
I agree.
I feel like you should be able to continue that use if you, like, messed up, or at least ask for confirmation.
Right. I have 12 uses of it right now.
Must be nice.
Yep, it's pretty good.
Must be nice.
It means I can be a little reckless.
Yeah. Well, see, and like I said, the situation was pretty typical, and I was like, oh, he's not going to get with the 20. I can heal him this next round with Marianne. It'll be fine. And he walks up, and the Pegasus Knight comes in and attacks, and I'm like, all right, he's going to miss, and they don't. And I'm just like, thanks, game.
It's unfortunate when that happens, man.
It's FE6 all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I let Casper die so very early on in the game, so you know.
Dang.
Caspar's so good, though.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, because he's dead, and I don't care.
That's a shame because he's actually really
He
good.
died, and I forgot I could do Divine Pulse, and so I just moved on.
He's actually
And I
really good.
didn't even reload. I didn't even try to reload. I was like, okay, whatever. He's dead.
You do what you gotta do.
Well, all right then. Go miss out on those supports.
Whatever.
He actually has a really good support chain with Petra.
He's really annoying.
I disagree. I think
Yeah, well,
a
you're really
lot.
annoying too, Trey.
Oh, thanks. I think a lot of characters in Three Houses start off annoying. Like I honestly do. I think.
Claude.
I think most. I don't know most, but like maybe half. We'll go with half. I think like half the cast starts off super annoying, but as you get to know them better, you understand them better. And I think this might be one of the few Fire Emblems where that happens, because in a lot of Fire Emblems, most of the cast is like reasonable. However, I do think, having said that, that by the end of the game, I appreciate these characters a lot more than I do some of the other games. Like Felix is a jerk. And when you find out why he's such a jerk to everybody, you're like, you know what? I don't agree with your methods, but it makes sense. So,
Claude is great.
I hope to find that out soon. And then the last big thing for my week, other than working on scripts, I've been doing a lot of script work and getting mad at myself for not being able to be as erudite as I would like to be. I'll throw that word in there. Oh. Still watching Kyouryuuger. Still liking it. Still really good. Plots have been equal parts kind of horrifying in places, and then in other parts, like, yeah, pretty good. Not great, not terrible, you know? I like it. It's good. I definitely have noticed a problem that I have with it, though. That was not there before.
I said, well, what's that?
Oh, well, the big issue I have with Kyouryuuger is that, so, they're a team of 5 people, right?
Yep.
You could have fooled me. Sure seems like the Red Ranger is the most important one and gets the power-up that nobody else gets and gets to do all the cool stuff and nobody else gets to do it.
Isn't that how it normally goes?
I was hoping it would not be that way. But
all shows that are similar do the exact same thing.
My hope is that, because I've heard Sentai's not like that. I've heard that all the main characters get time. My hope is that's going to wind up being true, but, you know, after this, I'm going back to Kamen Rider for a little while anyway, so I guess whenever I get back to Tokyuger, we'll see how that goes. I do like King. I don't dislike King. I just think it's kind of garbage when he gets the power-ups and everybody else is like, go on, King, do it! We believe in you! And he's the only one fighting, like, 4 bad guys? It's like, okay. You guys are all right there, though. And I mean, don't get me wrong, they still get to do stuff, but...
Wow, what a Goku.
Yeah, yes. You know what series doesn't do that? One Piece. Luffy gets to fight a guy, Zoro gets to fight a guy, Sanji gets to fight a guy, Nami gets to fight a guy, Usopp gets to fight a guy. Everybody gets their own fights. It's great. Some of these other series should think about it. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I'm looking at the end of Naruto when, you know, it's Naruto and Might Guy and then all the Sharingan users and everybody else is just back there like, we believe in you, you can do it. But at least there it wasn't just Naruto.
No, I mean, even Neji was fighting an arrow.
So speaking of Naruto,
Garbage.
You have no idea how mad that just made me, Pat. Like, I had to take a moment to catch my brain up. Yes, go ahead, Andrew.
this weekend I wanted to play a game, and I forgot about it until now. But I want to go back and play Shinobi Striker.
We
Okay.
should.
That was actually a lot of fun.
I'm game.
That game is fantastic.
Sandman.
I like throwing fireballs at people.
We had so much fun doing Genyu poses.
Yep.
You should go watch that video if you haven't seen us play it. You should go watch it.
The last thing for my week, there may be another Kamen Rider belt coming to the house.
Oh god, here we go.
I found a really good deal, okay?
Uh-huh.
I found it on eBay.
Stop
I
it.
couldn't say no. I couldn't say no. It's all of the O's. It's an O's belt and all the medals, literally all of them, and a case to hold them in that's from the show.
How much is that?
Well, on Amazon, it's $400 and $468 for that. I did not pay that. I got a very good deal on eBay. So,
eBay? You can't trust eBay.
I think I can. It has. This person had like 9,000 sellers or 9,000 5-star ratings.
It's pretty good.
We're not.
Yeah.
We're never playing Minecraft, by the way, Pat.
Yeah, we are.
If you would have asked me when I was still in diapers, I probably would have said sure.
Trey's gonna play. I already got him to agree to it.
Did because there's Kamen Rider skins.
Dude, y'all are pathetic, and I quit the podcast.
Andrew, don't be such a.
What if I told you that I could get Pokemon in our Minecraft world?
I don't care. It's
That's
still
amazing.
Minecraft.
We're gonna play a hardcore run, and if you die, you die.
This tells you how bad the game is when your main draw is mods that I have to bring in that make the game good.
Oh no!
Game is good
I'm gonna
without them.
bring
It's
the
just a nice addition. It's just a nice addition. Did you get more of those without telling us?
No, it's the same set, but next week hopefully I'll have the O's belt, and then I can do the Taka Tora Bata Tatopa Tatopa Tatopa.
Minecraft is a great game. That's why it's sold over 144 million copies.
So, okay.
Here we go. There's this argument.
So it's good because it sells a lot.
It's not. It's
So
not a good argument.
Fortnite, with how much money they rake in through V-Bucks, is an amazing quality game.
It's not a good.
Pat said it.
Unfortunately,
Pat said it.
I know
it is a
first.
good game. It's a great game because it takes children away from the games that I like.
Speaking of good games, though, you know what I did there? I got us. I got us. We're good. Astral Chain.
Woo!
We've gotten a few reviews for Astral Chain.
We've got a lot of reviews.
Where would you guys guess right now?
I know the
Then it is
answer to
that.
both of these because I've been eyeing them all day, so I cannot answer.
Pat, where do you think Astral Chain is right now? The newest platinum game on Switch.
Switch exclusive, baby.
89.
It's really close. It's 88.
Dang,
Yeah.
that was a complete guess.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at the reviews at all.
What do you think the critics' recommendation is right now?
No, but you can't trust. That makes no sense. I feel like they flip a coin 100 times.
60%.
and just have it 60%.
98%.
Oh man.
So there are no low reviews on it right now at all. According to OpenCritic. I'm trying to find the lowest review that I can find right now. It would probably
If you're
be
intrigued by Astral Chain, go watch the E3 2019 gameplay footage. That'll sell you on it.
yeah. I guess the lowest would be We Got This Covered review, which is a 2 out of 5 stars. It says, thanks to poor bigger is better design choices, technical gaffes, obtuse exploration, a bromidic narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Alexa, what does bromidic mean?
Adjective defined as proper to a platitude. Bromide.
Oh, thank you. They could have just said boring.
Okay.
Zero atmosphere. Control. Oh, wait, no, this is a control review. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Astral Chain didn't get any bad reviews, boy! I got you!
Come on.
I got you!
Come on.
No, control looks really good, too, though.
It better be. I just bought it
I think
based on Michael Huber's review.
that's my favorite bait and switch that I've ever done. Because you guys were in. I even found the one that had the.
I was like, dang, somebody is really ripping into this.
Oh man. Okay. No, I mean Astral Chain, super popular. Super popular. Everybody seems to love it. Polygon, much as you want to hear there. Thanks. Said Astral Chain is the best new Nintendo franchise since Splatoon.
Wow.
We're having fun in chat.
Oh yeah, no,
Sorry.
I see it. Astral
okay.
Chain is yet another addition to the Nintendo Switch library that will be fondly remembered for decades to come, says Nintendo Insider.
Decades to come.
So people are pretty stoked about it.
Rant and Raven.
Yeah. It looks really
Nines
good.
and, nines and tens. Eights are the low score.
Mm-hmm. I will say, most reviews are putting it around 15 hours.
That's it. Really?
So don't. I mean, it's a platinum game. They're always short.
Yeah.
Don't buy it expecting like a 30, 40 hour RPG, but it looks really good. Looks really fun to play. So
I'm excited.
I'm excited for sure. Absolutely.
Are you gonna buy it, Pat?
I have it on the list of games I'm gonna buy. I hope I can. We'll see, but I plan on it.
All right, on to our next game. Pat, where do you think Control is right now on OpenCritic?
So I'm watching the trailer right now because I don't remember this game.
Okay.
And I didn't add it to my list, and I remember why. Because
Why?
I feel like if I play this game, I won't be able to sleep.
Okay.
But I feel
Let me
like
tell you
it's gonna
something
be,
about Remedy. Okay.
I feel like it's got to be doing really well.
How do you feel about Max Payne?
You ready to hear what I'm about to say?
He's about to say he's never played Max Payne.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's just Joseph
You should
Joestar.
play You should play the Max Payne trilogy before you play Metal Gear Solid. Just because I think you'll have more fun with Max Payne.
This is me
Slow-mo
believing
diving.
he will have time for that. Oh, okay, yeah.
What?
This is me believing that Pat will have time to play that entire trilogy. Oh yeah.
They're
right.
not very long. I
just want to remind y'all that this is the first time since doing the podcast that I've been able to actually put at least 10 hours into more than 10 games.
That's true.
So you can play Max Payne.
No. I'll probably
Max
never
Payne
play
is
Max
one
Payne.
Max Payne is one of my favorite game series of all time.
It's really good, actually. It
I'm
legitimately
sure
is.
it's fantastic.
Slow-mo diving. What do you want?
I agree with King. He could go straight into Max Payne 3 to be able to get a feel for playing the games.
Max Payne 3 has the best action. So
Yes.
yeah.
What is I've played one game that's kind of intense. Let me look it up.
That's kind of intense. How does that have anything to do with me?
While you do that, what score do you think Control has?
85.
84.
Dang, I'm good.
Did you look this up
I did not. I swear, I did not.
Because he's coincidentally
Yeah.
1 point.
If you hadn't known him already, he would have won most likely. What do you think the recommendation is?
7.
80%.
90%. You undershot the recommendation again. So yeah, the only bad review is the one from We Got This Covered, and I'll be honest, I think it's because I did read it. I think it's a bad review, but just shots fired, I guess. Just let me pull the. But regardless, Control seems to be doing really well.
I thought I had played Max Payne. I played Just Cause 3, not Max Payne.
It's a very different thing. Still fun though.
One of those games is good, and it's Max Payne.
Just Cause 3 was pretty fun, the few hours I played of it.
It was pretty fun. Your voice went higher pitch when you said pretty fun, which leads me to believe that you don't actually believe it was that fun.
I mean, I didn't complete the game, so I don't really have like a definitive opinion about it.
Max Payne. You dive in slow motion while you dual wield weapons, and you dive through a window in a nightclub.
So it's super hot, but you can run.
Do it.
Hold on a second, guys. I think Streamlabs might have frozen. Let me see if the stream is.
Just to suffer.
I will play Max Payne 3.
Okay,
right now.
it's good. We're good. Everything
So
broke for
basically
a
what you're
second.
saying
We're good.
Is it's super hot, but in third person and you can move.
It is better than Super Hot.
Okay.
Actually, I would agree with that. Yeah.
Super Hot has a really cool gimmick, and I love Super Hot. But if you're looking at just like a good action game, Max Payne is way better.
Yeah. It should be fixed now, Artaka. If it's still messed up where you can't see it moving, hit F5. And you should be good. I'm viewing it over here, and it's working again now.
Come down, it's rubbing them in. Yes, the combat. Oh, the combat, Max.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to care about the story. Just
I like
it's all
the
about the
story,
action,
though.
baby.
I like it.
It's all about the action and painkiller addiction.
Yeah, it's really good. You know what else seems really good? See how I just pulled it back? You see that? Kind of impressive, honestly,
Max
if I had to
Payne
say so
2 is
myself.
also very
I'm
good.
we're the kings of derail. I'm just saying.
That's true. Control. Control's really good, apparently, according to all these reviews. And I'm excited to get to play it. I think I'm probably going to wind up picking it up.
What?
Control.
Yep, I bought it not that long ago today. I am ready for it. Michael Hubert gave it a 9 out of 10.
He sure did.
That's enough for me.
He doesn't just throw those out either. I think out of the allies, he throws them out the most, but, like, still, they're not thrown out often. So yeah, Control looks pretty sick. All right. That'll lead us into the actual news. We have like 20 minutes left of the podcast. We might go a little bit long. It's fine. Pokemon Masters finally has a release date. I don't think any of the three of us are like super excited for it, but it's coming out August 29th. I'll try it. It's free to play. Give it a shot.
Give me a gotcha game.
That's what it is.
Money.
So
Yeah.
I got all this expendable income.
yeah, for sure. Banned is a user. They're not actually banned. That's their username. They've been checking out some stuff. They're pretty cool. Supporting us on Patreon. Appreciate that. So we do have some bad news. I feel like this would have been most of the podcast had we not spent 20 minutes on The Last Jedi and then an exorbitantly long amount of time on Remnant. 3DS and Wii U users can no longer use credit cards.
Trey.
Yeah?
Trey, you didn't say the release date.
I did, August 29th.
Yeah, he did.
You did?
That was the first thing he said.
Okay.
3DS and Wii U users can no longer use the credit cards for the Wii Shop or eShop in the EU. Which, yes, I agree. They're not going to have to use the gift cards to be able to do it. But this also means that it's begun. The sunsetting of the eShop on Wii U and 3DS. So if you own a 3DS or a Wii U and there are games you still want to purchase on there, you should do so now and download them to it. Because eventually, just like the original Wii, the shop will go away.
What if they made it to where like they had a current video game system where you could buy all these games
That would be cool.
on one system?
Yeah, they could even call it like some kind of
Switch.
digital. I don't know, like a digital appliance, maybe something like that.
Console, maybe?
Yeah, maybe digital seems a little harsh. Maybe virtual, like a virtual
That sounds
console.
cool. Like
That
a
would be really
virtual
nice.
console.
Yeah, I think that's a good
sounds
idea.
Interesting. I don't know why they haven't done it yet.
Yeah,
Ever, apparently.
yeah. Switch needs it.
Wouldn't it be nice if the games that you purchased just moved on with you in general?
I agree, but that's a dream.
I wanna be able to play
MLK had a dream.
brute force.
That why?
I'm just saying dreams come true. You have a dream, you got to work for it. This is what we got to do. Start petitioning. Let's start.
Petitions
A-
never
a
work in
giant-
this industry.
We'll make a gigantic GoFundMe and we'll fund it ourselves.
Yeah. Sure.
Speak for your own money. 'Cause
Sure.
I'm not putting any money into that.
Yeah, that's a choice, Pat, and we're glad
I'm
you're
gonna
here,
start a
band.
petition.
We're glad that you're here. Following that, because I agree, that is dumb. Speaking of dumb, Spider-Man. You guys hear about all this going on?
Whoa.
Spider-Man's not dumb, but companies sure
Yeah,
are.
but that's how you segued it, okay?
No.
You segued, speaking of dumb, let's talk about Spider-Man.
Yeah, because this
Okay.
situation is really dumb.
Spider-Man is great.
So I know Pat doesn't watch superhero movies, so he's probably gonna have no input on this. Because Pat hates all things fun but loves The Last Jedi. Andrew, do you like Spider-Man in the MCU? You think he's pretty cool?
I've only seen Spider-Man Homecoming, but Spider-Man is an integral part of the Avengers and should be in the movies.
Oh, that's a shame then, because he's not gonna be.
Well, that makes sense.
So Sony
Right.
owns the video rights for Spider-Man. They bought it from Marvel years ago to be able to make movies with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Disney and Sony had a great deal where Disney got 5% of the revenue from the movies, and they could put Spider-Man in their movies. And Sony got 95, but gave Disney all of the merchandising rights because they couldn't have them right in the first place because Marvel, right? Well, Disney wanted more money. Is the information we have right now. If it comes out later that it was different, so. But the information we have right now is Disney wanted 50% of the money from the revenue from the movie, as well as the merchandising. And when Sony was like, no way, we can't do that, Disney was like, okay, see you later.
Yeah.
Which means with that deal currently not picked up on, Spider-Man won't be allowed to be in any more MCU movies.
Now hear me out. There's a reason Disney walked away from negotiations.
Okay.
They're working on purchasing Sony.
It's possible.
So that they own Spider-Man again.
It would be extremely unfortunate if Disney bought Sony.
If Disney is the one in charge of the PlayStation, I might switch to Microsoft.
It wouldn't be enough for me. It would depend on what they do with it. But just them buying it would not make me give up my PS4. But yeah, as Artaka put it, this only hurts them both. I can understand why Sony would not try and, accept that deal. I still don't agree with it. I mean, if you're not going to get him, you're only going to make those big bucks when he's in the movies with the other characters.
Yeah. You can't go make your own Spider-Man movie and people care about it at this point.
Right. Especially because where the MCU is currently on track, Spider-Man is almost in charge of the MCU.
Yeah.
So this next movie is gonna not make a lot of sense.
Here's the thing. Currently, the deal is Spider-Man's not in the MCU.
Yeah.
There's still plenty of time to renegotiate.
Yeah, and I have full confidence that they will renegotiate. But we had to at least bring it up. What I really don't like about all this is the way that both companies went to Twitter and other social media and were like, hey, tweet that we should own Spider-Man movie rights. And like trying to weaponize their fan base against the other one to make them cave. I didn't really like that at all.
Welcome to 2019.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. But again, before you post an angry tweet about something, get all the information. So that you know who's really at fault. And right now, we don't have all the information. So anyway, we'll move on to other things we don't have all the information on. Persona 5 Royal. We know that it was getting a lot of additions, right?
Right.
They specifically state in an interview, Atlas does, that it has not been expanded, as in more, as in a longer game, but the game that was already there has been deepened. And they're aiming for a similar playtime to what you already had. Now, because we know they've added like 20 hours of content to the game, my hope is that means they've reduced the size of the dungeons. Because as we talked about during Game of the Year, those dungeons are super long towards the end, and they get really annoying in some places because of how long they are. And so my hope is that now they have condensed those and then added the more stuff, you know? Disney branded PS5. Oh, I don't even want to know what that would look like.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to know.
You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Mickey Mouse.
That sounds awesome to me.
So I just think that's really cool, you know.
Give me Steamboat Willie PS5.
You're not getting that.
I would buy that, to be fair. I love Steamboat Willie. Monster Hunter World Iceborne is getting another beta already where you can fight Velkhana. However, this beta is only available from the 30th to the 1st on PS4 and the 2nd to the 5th on Xbox.
How does that work?
So you can download it and you'll have access to it in those days, and that's it. Personally, because the last beta was a week,
Yeah.
I think they should have just waited to put that beta out and combined these two. Or waited a little bit longer and given like early weekend before the game comes out beta access for 3 days, you know?
Yeah.
To hype up the game. Because right now, it just seems like a really short amount of time to fight what will be the like top tier difficult low rank monster, and you'll only have default gear. I don't know, it feels a little weird to me. Especially when the game's coming out so quick. It's in September. And it's just like, hey, here's our front of the box monster. Let's fight him. Especially when you look at like the beta for World originally, that was 2 monsters and Nergigante. It just seems a little strange, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know. To King's point in the chat, I did see a joke that Disney would have their brand new superhero, Arachnid Boy. And he would be played by Thomas Netherlands. Not any relation to Tom Holland. That would be really good too, Ant-Man. Absolutely.
Okay, hold on. Maybe DC could put out a good movie now.
Yeah.
Why would that change anything? What, Pat?
This is their opportunity. This is their opportunity.
I mean,
to come
I
out with
agree.
an actual movie,
But just
and
because
start trying to take back the war between Marvel.
DC has
on.
recently.
We had moved
DC has
on.
one of the best superhero movies in the past 5 years. That's Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman's a good movie.
It's
Okay.
amazing.
I was really afraid you were going to say Aquaman.
No, I said good, not decent.
You're right.
Aquaman was fine,
It was fine, but it wasn't good.
but it wasn't good.
We need a Static Shock movie.
I agree.
No, we don't.
Who would play Static Shock?
There's a lot of options.
Just get Sam Jackson to play Static Shock.
Michael B. Jordan.
No.
He's my favorite superhero. Static Shock.
I thought you were going to say Michael Jordan.
No.
No, Michael. You don't. Never mind. Trey doesn't know who he is.
I know who Michael Jordan is.
Michael B.
No,
Jordan.
Oh.
Michael B. Jordan is a completely different
Oh
person.
no, I don't know who Michael B. Jordan is.
Yeah, honestly, Static Shock is by far my favorite superhero, but hardly anybody knows who he is outside of like the three of us
I
of
wouldn't
my
say
friend group.
out
so-
of the friend group. Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't say hardly anybody. He's got a like Moon Knight. He's got a cult following.
Yeah, like none of the rest of my friends know, which is not very many friends. Yeah, I'll be like, oh yeah, like my favorite superhero is Static Shock. And they're like, who's that? And I was like, oh, he's Teen Titan for a little while. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I don't know who that is. And I'm like, oh, okay, great.
To be fair, he's not that great.
Let's move on. Let's move on because otherwise Pat's gonna explode, and I really like Static Shock as well. So let's move on.
He's fine.
He's
He's a fine C-rate superhero.
I mean, he's definitely not like Superman tier. I'll give you that.
Superman sucks.
When it comes to like power levels, but I think character-wise, he's a really good character.
I think what they can do with Superman sucks, but the idea of Superman is fantastic.
Yes, and there are some good Superman.
There are very rare, amazing Superman stories.
Yes. It makes me sad that they are so rare.
Did you see the Static Shock cartoon?
Yes, I did. Ban just brought it up in the chat too.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it really is.
Pretty good. Hey, you can watch the Static Shock cartoon?
The DC app, right?
DC Universe.
Too bad you can't watch Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah, you can.
It's on there?
Let me double check.
A Google search told me it was not on there.
Yeah,
could've
Justice
swore I
League
saw it.
Unlimited was fantastic.
Yes, it
It got
was.
canceled and it should not have.
No, it should not have gotten
Batman
canceled.
Beyond remastered in HD. Daddy likey.
Batman Beyond was good too.
I agree.
You know what was still the best of all of those cartoons though?
Yeah, Justice League Unlimited is on here, dude.
Oh, well, never mind then. I'm gonna be subscribing. You know what was still the best one though?
What?
The 90s Spider-Man cartoon.
Oh,
The one that was
Just saying.
but the what was the Batman one? What was the
Batman the Animated
cartoon?
Series.
Yeah,
That one was really good too.
that was also amazing. And
Joker
it's also
voiced by
on
Mark Hamill.
Universe.
Mark Hamill is a great Joker. Anyway, we should continue.
King of derails.
Yep, 100%. So remember last
I
week?
do best, baby.
Remember last week when we talked about DARQ and how
Yes.
the developer had
Yeah.
turned down the Epic deal? Well, he got so much support that he's now making a free DLC to come out later in the year as thanks
Hey!
for all the support he got.
That's awesome.
So that's just cool. It's gonna be more
the
levels for
fans.
free, which is just really cool to me.
What is this game?
I do not know actually. I added it to
I'm about
my
to pull
watch
that.
list, but I did not, or wish list, but I did not buy it. Stardew Valley is also getting an update. It will have
What's wrong
a
with that?
new farm map called the Four Corners, which is designed for online co-op, where everybody can have their own corner of the farm where they can grow stuff and have trees and stuff. It also will have the option to have separate what's the word? Purses for money, where everybody makes their own money for sales and everybody has their
Oh,
own
nice.
money.
Oh,
So you
nice.
don't
There
have
you
to
go.
worry about your teammates buying things you didn't want to buy, Andrew. Yes, as Chad has pointed out, the Spider-Man cartoon has the 90s one has my favorite quote in any Spider-Man thing ever. Shocker! You can't escape me! I'll chase you to the ends of the earth! It's so good. It's so good. So yeah, just really excited for that. Rumors that there could be a new dog in Stardew as well, where you could have a different type of dog.
Hey.
Also, something we forgot to mention for Astral Chain, you can pet the dog in Astral Chain.
That's what it's about.
You can pet the dog in Astral Chain?
Yep.
Okay. I unfortunately have to go.
Okay.
I was hoping I could get to stay for the rest of it, but I was not able to.
We got one thing, that's it. So
yeah, we're almost done.
I'm so glad I could at least come for the middle. I wish I could have been here from the start. I love everybody. I love chat. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you later.
Later, Matt.
See you.
Now that he's gone.
Now my layout doesn't work anymore. I gotta fix it again. Okay, if I do this, and nope, that's not the right one, and then I do this and turn this one back on, maybe, and then do this, and we have Lubu there again. There we go. Layout problem solved. So, the last bit of news that we have for this week is One Punch Man, a hero nobody knows, a game we already knew about. The question was, how would they balance Saitama, right? How would they do that? And we didn't know. They have told us how, and it might be my favorite thing about this, despite the fact that I don't think the game looks very good. So, the game is a 3v3 fighter. If you choose Saitama to be on your team, you don't have a character at the start of the fight. You have 2v3 instead of a 3v3. And you have to try and survive until he shows up and destroys the bad guys in one hit.
I mean, that's cool, but it's still gonna be a bad game.
I agree, but that's a really cool idea, So, with that said, we have a new segment because we have a Patreon supporter that is not just a good friend of mine that I know in real life. So we're going to call out at the end of every podcast now our Patreon supporters. Because we used to do it on the Weekly Shonen Jump Breakdown, and we don't do that show anymore. So, first off, big thanks to Rain. You know who you are. And Band. Appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Because of you that we can keep doing stuff like. Past that, what do we have coming up for the week? I am working on the Sekiro review script that I forgot that I never did because I started work on the Remnant review script and went, how did I start the Sekiro script? And went back to it and noticed it was empty. So, working on that. We had Fire Emblem today. The podcast will go up tomorrow. It's probably going to wind up being 4 uploads, including the podcast a week, instead of 5 uploads, including the podcast a week for a little while. Just trying to get everything sorted out, trying to get more content made. But we have a ranking video that'll be coming up. Probably Friday is when that'll come up, either Wednesday or Friday. But that will be on the Fire Emblem OSTs. So that will be, if you saw the first ranking, that was the games themselves. This next one will be on the soundtracks for the games. And then Friday will either be another job breakdown, or it will be a brand new episode of a series that I would like to do, where I just talk about some of my favorite music from video games and anime and movies and stuff like that. Because I tested something out, it worked. We did a video last week about my favorite chapter of anything ever, which is chapter 488 from One Piece. And in the background of that video, I wanted to have Mink Sake playing the song that plays during the anime episode tied to that, but it got copyright. So I sang the song myself very quietly and had it in the background. And so that's what we'll do if the song is not available where I can play it. For that series, because I want to talk about music that I like.
Just sheer madness.
Yep, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. I don't understand why. Like, hey, here's your. I'm trying to talk about how good your music is. Nope, you wanna not let me have the video be viewable anywhere? Okay. And then let me know, because I didn't expect to have that conversation at the start of the podcast where people were actually interested in it. What series you guys want after the job breakdown's done? Like, do you want super breakdowns for Extreme Versus? Do you want super breakdowns for the Dynasty Warriors Gundam series? Character breakdowns for a Dynasty Warrior game? Let me know. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up here.
Iron Blooded Orphans spoiler cast.
Yes. So I was gonna announce that last. We have planned an Iron Blooded Orphan spoiler cast at some point when the three of us can all get time. Because Andrew has seen all of Iron Blooded Orphans, and obviously Pat and I already had. So
I finished. Hold on, I finished like a year ago.
but we put that on the back burner, and we should not have. So we want to do that, and then whenever Andrew finishes Unicorn or Build Fighters, whichever one, I'd love to have a spoiler cast on that too.
Yeah.
And Pat and I want to do one on. What are we talking about doing one on? Bebop, Cowboy Bebop at some point.
Oh,
And then, oh yeah, absolutely, man. And then we also want to do the anime ending themes, since we did a video on anime opening themes. So lots of stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks, and then of course Sekiro review, Remnant review, at some point Kamen Rider Double review, and maybe eventually that yelling out attack names video will get done. I've been working on that script for 7 months now. I have completely at an impasse. Every time I think that I have a fix for it, I'll start typing it and go, nope, and then I'll think about it for a week and a half and come back to it, and no. Regardless, though, any other thoughts that we might have forgotten? Any plugs that you have, Andrew?
One, I had one, and I've forgotten now at the end of the podcast.
Burgle my bananas.
No.
Oh, okay.
Mysterious. I'll plug. What is the show called? Mysterious Monsters.
Mysterious Monsters. Yeah.
The latest episode is amazing.
I'm
You go watch it.
I'm gonna watch it as soon as I can. I want to do a video at some point too. This is just completely unrelated, about like tokusatsu. Now that I'm like invested in tokusatsu, and about why it's great. But that'll probably be a couple months from now. We're busy, and unfortunately, right now, you know, there's very little time to be had, and a lot of games for time to take up that all need to get played so we can talk about them on the channel. I still have to beat Judgment to do a Judgment review. So.
Oh, come on! You have to beat Judgment.
Yep.
We need Judgment spoiler cast needs to happen.
I want to do it.
Beat that game. It's so good.
I want to do a podcast like in September or maybe November, maybe like October. That's like, hey, you have 2 months until Game of the Year. What are your games you have to finish? Like, did you make yourself finish by then?
And so on top of that, the three of us can discuss and help each other decide on certain games.
Absolutely.
If we're stuck on something. I just had this thought from the Judgment spoiler cast idea, but you and I doing a Yakuza spoiler cast for each Yakuza
Yes,
game.
absolutely, man.
I do plan the next. It'll probably be at least a year, maybe a year and a half. I'm hoping by the end of 2020 I will have played all Yakuza games.
Yes. And every one of those videos, I'm just going to ask you, how much do you love Kazuma Kiryu?
Every video will start with that, and every video I will say, well, last game he was at a 10. This game he's at a 10.
I'm not joking, man. He's in my top 10 characters of all time, and he's like number 3 in that list. So, as of right now, Artaka, we don't know anything else about a console port. I would love one, and we would cover a bunch of that on the channel. Trust me. But right now, we don't know anything, unfortunately. I'm glad that you like it, man. We don't put out anything that we don't at least think is good. Decent videos just get thrown in the trash. Not even lying. There's a lot of stuff I edit and go, no. So we do have a standard of quality we try to hold things to, and we're not going to stop. I wish we could still stream as much as we used to, but I'm just working too much. And I guess now is as good a time as any to say, hey, we've been putting off Gundam Game Day for 2 months now, almost, it feels like. I'll announce as soon as I have a Saturday free. Oh, I'm sorry,
Isn't
everybody.
Is Gundam Game Day the first Saturday?
It's
every
normally
month?
the last Saturday of every month,
The
but it's been
last
pushed
Saturday.
back every time because we just haven't had time. But as soon as we get some,
This Saturday.
definitely not this Saturday. I have work. Oh, but next week, remind me, chat, and I will show off that O's belt when it comes out. So, do you know, this is like we should end the podcast. Do you know why I chose the O's belt?
No, I don't.
So, I had my phone out in the car, hooked up to my radio, and I picked up my siblings. For anybody that doesn't know, watching the VOD, I have 5 siblings that are all much younger than me. And I was picking them up from daycare and bringing them back to the house because my parents were both working. And my phone was just on autoplay for Spotify, right? And it got to the Kamen Rider soundtracks. And it got to O's and played the Sagozo theme. And the Sagozo theme is like, Sagozo! Sagozo! It's like really like intense, right? Immediately, all the kids were like, what is that? What is that? And so I showed them the video of Sagozo from O's, and anytime I come over, that's all they want to see. However, my youngest little sister has fallen in love with the video for Nobody's Perfect from Kamen Rider Double. So, all I'm saying is when I get them a little bit older, they're going to watch Kamen Rider. They're probably going to watch Sentai first, let's be honest, but... Anyway, we should probably call it here. I have been Trey.
I'm Andrew.
We've been the Full Spectrum. And there's Lubu down in the corner. Don't forget him. I never did. It's fine. I'll talk about it. Until next time, though, remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that life has to offer. Later, everybody.
Now that we're off the script.
Hold on, I haven't hit end stream.
Don't end stream yet.
Okay.
I want the people to hear this.
Okay.
No, I've just been thinking about playing some games, some different games,
Yeah.
and possibly streaming them. So if anybody has anything they want to see, I don't know if I'll put the VOD on the channel or if we just leave it on Twitch to help clear up our channel, you know?
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, if I'm already playing something,
Yeah, I agree.
Want to see? If anybody has anything they want to see,
Yeah. Seems good to me. Gotta get that O's belt. Everything coming up. O's. Andrew, do you know how that theme song goes?
Yeah, have a good night. No, I don't know. Why would I know this?
You count the medals. 1, 2, and 3. Life goes on. Anything goes. Coming up. O's. It's so good. It's so good. Remind me to show you the video later because it's like legit good.
I won't watch it. I refuse to.
All right. I'm going to hit end stream.
All right.
Later,
Bye,
everybody.
everyone.
Chat recommends any game. Just stream whatever. They'll be happy to see it.